Cool beans, let's get started. So you guys are gonna go ahead and fill out a chart that looks like this one here for number one. We've got solids, liquids, gases, and plasmas, and then fixed size, fixed shape, and then easy to compress. So what we're gonna do here is fill out the chart based on what each of them can do. With a solid, you know they've got a fixed size. You can't really change them at all. They've got a volume that they're gonna maintain whether or not you deform them or not. So fixed size, check. Fixed shape, realistically, if it's actually solid the whole way through, it's not going to change on its own unless you add a bunch of energy to deform it. So we got a fixed shape there. Easy to compress? No, not really. You can't compress a solid. If you've ever watched those videos with the hydraulic presses, you'll notice they usually deform and bend out of the way well before they compress. Next up, we've got liquids. If you've ever poured a glass of water and you poured it into something else, you know the size doesn't change. Unless you're watching those videos with toddlers where they have a cup and they take the same amount of water and pour it into a more narrow one, it goes higher up, and they say, which one had more? And the kids are like, the tall one. Fixed shape, they don't, as we just talked about. When you put them into a different container, they can change shape. And then easy to compress, again, liquids, not easy to compress. You'll notice the things that have a fixed size are not easy to compress. That's because their volume can't change very easily. Liquids can technically compress a little, but not significantly. Gases, fixed size, absolutely not. You can squeeze them, you can move them around, nothing with a shape either, so they're easy to compress, and same goes for plasmas. Basically, a plasma is just an ionized gas at a super high temperature. So for both of those, they're going to be easy to compress. As you go through like the sun, or you like look at a piston that has a gas in it, you can squeeze them. As you go towards the core of the sun, the plasma gets more and more densely compact. So you can compress them, but they don't have a fixed shape or size. And then over here for our definition of a fluid is basically just anything that flows. So from our definition there in number two, we can look over here for anything that would be a liquid, and that's going to include things that don't have a fixed shape. So that'll be liquids, gases, and plasmas. But for the purposes of what we're doing, we'll only be looking at liquids and gases.